Subscribing to The Observer on YouTube couldn't be easier, and we're going to show you exactly how to do that. First, navigate to www.youtube.com/TheObserverNJ. Once you get there, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button. Next to the subscribe button, click the down arrow and then all. And that's it. You're subscribed, and now anytime The Observer is live, you will be notified. Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you live from the home studio today on this, the 5th day of August in the year 2025. Sure hope you're enjoying your Tuesdays, no matter where it is you are in the country. 83 degrees here in the Northeast. A beautiful day indeed. A nice summer day, so hope you're getting a chance to enjoy it no matter where you are. We have a lot to get to today. And I want to just give you a little bit of a brief rundown of a couple of the topics that I want to cover today, in addition to this week's newspaper. The first thing is, last week I had a chance to attend a session of the Junior Police Academy over at Schuyler School. And the fire department did a demonstration with the junior cadets that I'm going to show you a video that I took while I was there. So we're going to lead off with that. And then there is a certain former Kearny councilman who has taken to social media to lie, and more tell. And I'm going to show you a couple of clips. Now, you might think, why would you show a clip of somebody lying? It's important for you to see this, because the truth of the matter is about 100 people watch the videos that he puts out. Maybe, give or take, and a few people clicked on his silly little website. But we're going to show you a couple of the clips, and then we're going to talk about the whole real absurdity of it and how he's got nothing to counter it with but lies, innuendo, and false comments. So we will take a look at that in a few minutes. Then I also want to talk a little bit about scooters in Kearny. There is a new law that bans them from going in the opposite direction of traffic. They're supposed to have helmets and things of that nature. But I'm going to show you a little clip from a ride that I took the other day. I knew this was going to happen. I could see the kids about a block away doing some crazy things in the street. So I fired up the camera, got it ready, and I'm going to show you a clip from that. So we got a lot to get to today, and so I hope you'll stick with me. It might be a little bit longer than we normally do on a Tuesday, but some very important topics that I want to get to. But we're going to start off with the Junior Police Academy. And Sergeant Jack Grimm and his crew at the Community Oriented Police Unit put this on every year. It's a 2-week program. And the day I was over there, the Kearny Fire Department came over and they did a vehicle extraction simulation. So without any further ado, here's what happened last week, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. So here it is. Hang on 1 second. Let me just find it somewhere here. I know I have it. Here it is.
And then I'll explain everything else that goes on after, okay? Firefighters are putting the cribbing underneath, it's the chop. And we're going to pop the tires on this side, okay? Wait, are you about to pop the tires? How are you going to get them out? Once it's sitting on the chops, Firefighter Miranda is going to pop the window so we get access to the vehicle. With a little punch tool that he has, just push it into the window and it should shatter. See how the bracket's holding the window? That's how the front is going to go. So now what we're going to do, we're going to simulate somebody in the front seat, right? So we're going to pretend that the door doesn't open with the handle. We're going to stick our tools in there and try to open the door, okay? And then we'll take the doors off and show you. So then we're trying to get a point, you stick the tools, and then we use the other tool, and then go on. You'll press up and down, so you can stick the tool in there, so you can actually pop the door. Good?
Hey Glenn, how's everything, right? Good, not too bad.
Remember I said sometimes the temperamental takes a little bit. What firefighter Martello was doing, opening the pool. Firefighter Shalego is going to put the cutters in there, and we're going to cut the hinges that are holding the door on to the car, okay? Listen up. So now we have full access to the patients, one in the back, one in the front. And so that's it. Any other questions you guys got for us?
When you cover them with a blanket, how do you get the blanket inside without breaking the glass first?
We could come in the other way, depending on where the patient is. We can come in the passenger side if it's not damaged, or through the trunk also, or we could cut the windshield out. And when we cut the windshield out, we have a tool that doesn't make a mess and it doesn't shatter the glass. So we cut around it and then we can get inside that way. Or if the window is already broken out, obviously we just put the blanket on. But we'll find other ways to access them. And the ambulance will be there to help us out too with their stuff. So. Anything else, guys?
Over here.
I like the chicken leg. I'll hold it. You happy, right, Chris?
Did you ask a question? Come on.
One more, guys. I can't have everybody. Back out.
Hey,
No other
Chad,
questions?
he's got a good question.
Yes, sir.
Yo, listen up.
What would happen if the airbag came?
Well, what we do, so if somebody is in there, what we do is we take the this plastic away, and it'll show us where the airbag cylinders are. So we cut around those. But if the airbag is already deployed, it's deployed. We can't really do anything about that. But we look. So there's cylinders in here, usually in here. So you got to take all the plastic off, and that'll reveal like where the cylinders are. So we cut around that so we don't make the airbags go off or the canisters explode. Okay? And the different cars have different areas where the canisters are. Any other questions?
Sir, no, sir.
All right, guys. Thank you for your.
I just want to say a couple of things about that. That was Captain Ron Protakowicz of the Kearny Fire Department. He was joined by 4 other members of the Kearny Fire Department last week for that demonstration. I'd never seen one of those extractions before where they have to open the door using the jaws of life. So that was to me, was very interesting to see how they do it. I've seen the jaws, but never actually seen them in action. But one of the things that I really always appreciate about our neck of the woods here is that the Kearny Fire Department and the Kearny Police Department collaborate a lot. And that is not always the case with police and fire departments in the area. So let me say this. I really, really do appreciate the idea that they work together as much as they do. And Jack Grimm has been doing this for a lot of years, on and off. He left the community-oriented policing unit and then returned to it this year. And he's joined by a great crew of police officers in that unit as well. They'll be graduating Thursday night at Lincoln School. Hope to get over there to see that. But I'm glad I hope you appreciate how great it is that the police and the fire department in this town really do work together so much and do these great outreach things with the community and with the children of the town. So thank you for that. And if you get a chance, if you ever get a chance to see the kids in action, it's really extraordinary. They really do a great job. And this class was big. It was 50, I think, or 52. And I've gone over there every year just about. And this was certainly the most active class and animated class that I saw. That doesn't mean that's the whole thing. They could certainly be different in reality, but when I was over there, they were very, very attentive to what was going on. They were paying attention to the extraction. They weren't talking to each other. They were doing what they were supposed to do while they were there. So a great job. Well done, Jack Grimm. Now, I'm going to put something on the screen here. And this is the Wikipedia definition of what a movement is. Shame on me for using Wikipedia, but where else do you find more accurate information? And I'll just read it to you from the screen. A political movement is a collective attempt by a group of people to change government policy or social values. Political movements are usually in opposition to an element of the status quo and are often associated with a certain ideology. Pretty clear what it is that a movement is. However, over the last couple of months, a former councilman has decided that he has created on his own a movement. And he takes to social media and he takes to his website and has done nothing but tell untruths. I don't want to use the word lie because that has such a nasty, dirty connotation. But listen, no, it's a lie. It's lies. It's lies. And on occasion, he will show some videos on his social media that are so filled with nonsense that I have to show you a couple of them. Now, you may say at first, well, why would you give this any more credence than it already gets? And you're right. You are right. It doesn't deserve any more credence, but you need to see the absurdity of it. And you need to see how ridiculous it is growing on a daily basis to really get a sense of how bad it really is. So I'm going to show you two clips. And I'm going to pause in between. I'll take some time in between the two clips to say a few things about what is being said in these clips because it's just too ridiculous not to. Here's the first one. This was from a couple of days ago.
While Kearny crumbles, Mayor Doyle plays Nero, smiling through the fire. When the Peruvian Civic Association let her opponent march, her loyalists attacked them online. Some even threatened to shut it down. That's not leadership. That's fear politics. The mirror's cracking. Renato for Kearny Forward Movement.
Let's address this first, because I don't think it's been addressed properly. The Peruvian Civic Association did not grant anyone permission to put a float in that parade. In fact, if you read their bylaws, which are very clear and are written in English and in Spanish, it says very clearly that there would be no political floats, signs, anything of that nature in the parade. Now, nobody tried to shut it down. Okay, number one. Okay, there was no. Now, I should take that back because the Civic Association told the Republican Party, no, we don't want this in the parade. You can't. We told you that you can't, and you shouldn't be putting this into the parade. But it got into the parade anyway. Okay. So, to go out there and to say that the other side was complaining about it or tried to shut it down is utter nonsense and an absolute lie. But this is what he does. This is what he does. If he doesn't like the results of the rules, the regulations, the laws, whatever it is, he goes out and he tells stories that are completely false to try to spin the narrative the way he would like it to be. This is what he's done since he got off the town council. He never did any of this while he was on the town council. He sat there in silence for the most part for the months that he was on the council. In fact, the only time he ever contributed to the town council, the governing body, when he was on it, was to offer alternate resolutions for appointments during a reorganization meeting. That is the most he did while he was on the council. He never spoke up. He never talked about issues. He never got into any discussions with anybody while he was actually there. Never elected, mind you. He was never elected. He was appointed, and he lost in the primary. Then he ran as a write-in candidate and lost that. And we're going to get into that in a second, but not until after I show you this second clip, because this is where it gets even funnier. Here is the second one. Wait till you hear this one.
Doyle and her team are letting the town decay, street by street, pothole by pothole, while they smile for the cameras and called it leadership. When I ran as a write-in, they panicked because the game wasn't rigged anymore. This movement, it's not approved. It's real. And it's just getting started. Renato for Kearny Forward Movement.
They panicked, he said. When he ran as a write-in candidate, they panicked. Really? Really? Would you call this a panic? I call your attention to the results of the 3rd Ward Council race from 2024, where Fred Esteves won with 1,920 votes. George Santos had 1,674 votes, had a very good showing. And there were 77 write-in votes. Now, if you were to presume that every single one of those were his write-in votes, he got 2.1% of the write-in votes. The chances are that not every single one of those write-in votes were his, because it's almost an anomaly that one person would get every single one of the write-in votes. So he thinks his little quote-unquote movement, or whatever you call it, causes panic. But look at those numbers. 77 votes. That would cause no one to panic, in my mind, at all. I don't think anybody was shaking in their boots like, uh-oh, maybe he'll pull this off in some kind of miracle. Or maybe he'll change the outcome of the election by being a thorn in the side of the other candidates. No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen in any of the races that he runs in. When he was the candidate, he lost. He lost this. He lost a Board of Education race about a decade ago. Every single thing he touches turns into a loss. But he gets up every single day, high and mighty, preaches about how things could be. And now I'm going to ask you a question. I had a conversation with my best friend in the world, Sean McDonald, this morning. And we thought, he brought it up, and I was going to bring it up too, but he brought it to my attention quicker. What exactly is this movement going to do that would be different from what's happening now? Where are your plans? Where are your ideas? Where are the things you would like to see better in the town of Kearny? But what we get is there's fires burning, and we get artificial intelligence videos of the mayor looking buffoonish, and we get more lies like panic, like there was no panic. There has never been a panic that this guy has caused. But where are the alternates? Where are your ideas? Where are the plans that you would like to see implemented? The truth of the matter is there are none. And so for the last time, I'm not going to bring this guy up anymore. I'm just not, because he is just not worth the time. But I think what was important is that the people of this town are aware that there is somebody out there. And whether or not you see it, I don't know, because the numbers are small, and the website isn't even a .com. It's a free website. But it's dangerous sometimes when anybody has a platform to say whatever the hell they want about others. And damn if it's the truth. And that's the problem here. If there was a candidate out there like him, but he's not even a candidate, so I shouldn't even use the word candidate, but if there was somebody out there who's giving alternates and suggestions and plans and ways to make things better, I'm all for it. I want to hear it. But when you go out there and you're critical, you have no proof, and the things that you say are nothing but lies after lie after lie after lie, your credibility's shot, pal. So keep it up if you want, I guess. But if you think for 1 second that anybody in this town is panicking because of the words you use, the big words you use with your master's degree and all that, you are mistaken. You are mistaken. But if you want to continue to do it, go ahead. I know he's going to do it anyway. And he's going to be wrong the next time he does it, and the subsequent videos that come after that, and the subsequent posts that come after that, and all of the artificial intelligence that he uses. He says he doesn't hide behind screens, but he does. He does, folks. If you look at one of the persons who has a fake name, it's so obviously him, because sometimes he just cuts and pastes and doesn't even think about it, and doesn't change the screen name before he does it. So I guess there's often a reason why, when you look at one candidate and their record is a complete offer, that they are offer. And in this case, it is certainly true. Now, I'll be the first to admit I ran twice and I lost both times. So I should be one to talk. I know that. That was also when I was 22 years old, not a grown man. And I never told the incredible amount of lies and falsehoods that he has. It's just a shame. So take whatever he says with a grain of salt. Please be cautious when you see this stuff. Verify what he says. Ask if it's true. You're going to find out most of the time it is not. It is 56 minutes past the hour. Kevin Canessa here with you on the Observer Live. I want to show you a couple other things real quick. The first thing is I'm gonna loop this video that I took the other day. It's only 3 seconds, okay? But the reason I'm showing this to you is because I was about a block away from this. I think it was at Halsted Street, and Halsted and Kearny. And I saw these kids riding toward me in the middle of the street. None of them had helmets. They were on scooters. And just take a look for yourself. See if you can see this. You can see right here, the kids in the middle of the road. There were actually about 6 other kids who were doing the same thing, heading in this direction, heading against the flow of traffic. No helmet. You see that? There's no helmet. These kids are teenagers. No protection. Going against the grain. Riding in the middle of the street on Kearny Avenue. Somebody's gonna get killed. Somebody is going to get killed. But this is happening. Jesus, it's every day. It's every day. When I saw this last week, I couldn't help but just take the phone out and record it for a little while. That was the best footage that I can get. But please, folks, when you have kids, tell them to be careful out there. Going against traffic, not wearing a helmet, all the different things. And there's fines. They are subject to fines, and so are the parents. So please, give them better advice whatever the hell they're doing, because they're going to wind up getting killed one day. They try to do things that are funny and cute, but it's not. So just wanted to show you that as well. And then there's 2 other things real quick that these are not new necessarily. Don't forget, we're in the middle of the Kearny Public School Uniform Exchange school supply drive. So if you have anything to donate to Jenny Paz and her group, please drop off supplies at Kearny Fire Headquarters at 109 Midland and 47 Davis, Police Headquarters 237 Laurel Avenue, and at Town Hall at 402 Kearny Avenue. And then also, do not forget, tonight is National Night Out. In Kearny, it is from 6 to 8 p.m. on Belgrove Drive by all of the veterans on Veterans Row. So please come out, greet your police department, see everybody around, from your neighbors to your friends to whoever will be out there that night. It's always a very nice night, and any chance you get to interact with the police that in this matter, it's always good. And they're going to have the mobile police unit there too that I talk about. It seems like every week. So if you get a chance, you'll be able to see that over at the National Night Out festivities tonight. And of course, please remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. It's very, very important for us to continue to grow our YouTube presence over Facebook. And the reason why, of course, is because on Facebook, after 30 days, all of the videos disappear. So please, when you get a chance, go over there to www.youtube.com/theobservernj and like our page. It will work wonders. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for today. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today. I will be back twice this week. On Thursday with Sid Rosenberg of WABC Radio, and then on Friday with Tony Mondero and Mayor Dan Pronti. Not together. We're going to have a couple of interviews with Mayor Pronti. There's going to be a new member of the North Arlington Borough Council after Lynette Cavadas retired or resigned from the board because she had to move out of the borough. So Join us Thursday. I'll put out all the details. Thursday will be Sid Rosenberg from WABC, and then Mayor Dan Pronti and our regular spot with Tony Mondero on Friday. So from the home studio today, Kevin Canessa signing off for now, and we will see you on Thursday right back here. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.